Welcome to Morning Joe with Tom, with your host, Thomas Chappell. Get ready to listen to real-life stories from inspiring leaders who have overcome incredible challenges to rise to the occasion. If you're ready to add some pep to your morning with a new outlook on leadership, then grab your cup of coffee. It's time to be inspired. Here's your host, Thomas Chappell.
So good morning, Anwar. Thank you for joining. Just so that my audience knows, wanted to let them know that you and I met back at Goldman Sachs back in May of 2022. I was deeply inspired by the presentation that you were giving while you were there and all of the tool sets and ideas that you were kind of expressing to the group and as to Goldman Sachs. But I kind of wanted to give you an opening here for you to kind of explain to the audience why that we should be listening and concerning ourselves around cybersecurity. If you could tell us a little bit about your expertise, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Tom. It was great meeting you at the Goldman Sachs course too. So as Tom said, my name is Anwar Shahid. I am a certified information system security professional, backed up approximately about 20 years of experience in the Department of Defense as well as civilian sector. I have various certifications as the one I just previously mentioned in the CISSP, as one with a SSCP, as long with a hacking investigator certification, as well as many others. But the reason why you should be concerned about cybersecurity right now and why you should listen to someone's subject matter expert in it is because the advanced penetration persistent threat that's out there. It's always something that's coming along versus cost risk or security risk these days. So you want to have that always in mind, or either hire somebody to keep it in mind like me. So I would highly recommend everyone, if it's not me, reach out to a subject matter expert immediately to give them an assessment of where you're at and where you need to go. And that's primarily what we do.
All right. Just because some of my audience might not know, could you kind of explain what an assessment means there, just so that they're clear?
Sure. That assessment is basically coming from a technology and policy level when it comes to where your cybersecurity posture is. It's basically going to result in a cybersecurity plan. That cybersecurity plan leads you to benefits not only in lowering your risk of being hacked, but it also involves being compliant and also involves giving you access to cybersecurity insurance in the first place, right? Some places won't even allow you to get cybersecurity insurance without having a cybersecurity plan in place. So that's one of the solutions that we help utilize to solve that problem.
Well, I really appreciate the clarification on that. So what brought you to serve others the way that you do?
Well, what brought me to serve others the way that I do was in college, when I found out I was getting pretty good at this coding thing. I was getting paid to do other people's programs. And I would put security code passwords in front of them before security was cool. You know, back in 1999 and 2000, and I got called into my teacher's office, Dr. Chung, I think he's dean now, and he was saying, I could recognize you did all of these codes because I recognize your pattern, and you put security passwords, and you labeled your code. You have a very systematic way of thinking. I'm thinking he's going to kick me out of school, but he told me I needed to major in computer information systems because at that point I was undecided. And so that led me to serving everybody in the computer lab, because I was so happy I found this way. And this guy had gave me this, chance at life. And it turned out to be coding and technical and serving people with that. So that's what led me into that direction, led me to working for the Department of Defense and civilian and turning that to a business. And here I am.
There you go. God moves in mysterious ways, right?
Does work in mysterious ways. Not to mention the military also had me doing it. Once they found out I was good at it, then in the Army Reserve, they gave you that hat too. Not to say it was my MOS, but you're going to do that too.
Understood. So what are some of the most critical business challenges that leaders face that your solution solves?
So what it basically helps them solve, it's the compliance solution up front. Being technical and your training solutions we provide, as well as that cybersecurity plan, helps you meet numerous compliance requirements, as well as going to lower your risk of being hacked in the first place. 30% just having the awareness training for being provided helps lower that ransomware attack by 30%, just having your employees, your organizations aware. Most people don't even understand that.
Wow, that's really good. So what will be different as a result of you working with a client?
So what's going to be different is you're going to have that more of a better culture of security posture, cybersecurity posture embedded into your culture. You're also going to have the output of the actual cybersecurity plan, which you can utilize to move forward and maintain yourself is always an option. Or, of course, you can utilize us to not only maintain that, but we'll be your easy button on the technical side too. We can offer you a way to get behind our technology to meet numerous technical requirements just by getting behind our technology. So that's another solution we provide. Another output, and the last output, of course, would be utilizing that plan for your insurance, right? Like I mentioned before.
So you help us. So you would help leaders and businesses help them get to that point of having the plan.
Exactly. And that also helps with numerous what you call CMMC requirements coming down the pipe too, with a lot of companies that may do business with the government. That also helps in that space.
All right. Well, that's really good and fascinating. And I'm sure many companies would love to have the opportunity to kind of shore up an area that can be a really painful area as incidents occur.
Right. And another area it helps with the zero trust architecture. Our partnership with Microsoft will help the companies and organizations get in a good posture as far as the zero trust architecture is concerned as well. We have past performance with them in the DoD space that we also apply to the commercial space with that partner.
So just in case folks don't understand, what is zero trust architecture? What is that whole, what is this about?
So without getting too technical, you trust no one. You give access to a certain group of people that only come through a certain type of service only. One door in, not multiple access points to that infrastructure. That's just one technical piece. It's a total type of mindset involved as well that you should have, but that's just a quick overview from the technical side over.
And so I gather that the training that you were talking about earlier, that you would provide not just the company, but its employees and possible partnerships that are there involved, they would get a clear understanding of how that they can apply that so that they can meet these security requirements. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So Anwar, I appreciate our time today. So, but I'd like to kind of ask one final question. How could someone reach you to get more information on how you can serve them?
Sure. I'll lead you to go see propelledtech.com/support and just reach out to us there with your name and information, and we'll be getting in contact back with you.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Anwar, and we will add the links to the show notes as we produce this into YouTube. So, Anwar, thank you, and we hope that you have a blessed day.
You're welcome. Thank you too, Tom. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you.
Thanks for listening to Morning Joe with Tom. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. See you next time for more real life stories and inspiration on Morning Joe with Tom.